Hi, welcome to Bailey's Quilting. Today I'm going to show you how to do the Wonky Log Cabin. This is a great block to do if you're a beginner quilter or an experienced quilter that has boxes of scraps and strips left over. It will get rid of them very, very quickly. Now, the strips don't have to be all the same size. Now mine here are pretty much the same size, but you can see they're not the straightest, and that's fine. If they're different widths, a little bit crooked, it doesn't matter. Now, for assembly, it is made very similar to the traditional log cabin, only this time we're going to simply strip piece these together. Now I'm just going to take these two. Now you can still plan this out like you would a regular log cabin. You can have light and dark, pattern, non-pattern. I'm just kind of going to grab from the pile and make more of a scrappy. Now you'll notice that I don't have a quilter's 1/4 inch foot on the machine. I have a simple, regular presser foot. So this is great if you're a beginner quilter and you don't have all the accessories and whatnot. Just use a regular one and kind of line your edge of the fabric up against the edge of the seam. So go ahead and start sewing, and I'll just do a little bit here. I'm just going to do a little bit right for now so we can show you here. Take it out of the machine. Now the nice thing is you don't even need rotary cutters or cutting mats. With this, you're simply going to use your regular scissors. And you're going to cut these into squares. And you can see I'm not worried about whether they're the same size or anything. I'm just cutting them. Once you have them cut, open them up and give them a quick press. Now you can also just finger press these as well. That works just fine. Let's get the rest of these done here too. As I say, you can see these are different size, and that just makes for a fun block. Okay, now the next step, you'll grab your next piece of fabric. And the thing to remember when you're doing a log cabin and you're doing it in the strip piecing method is you always want to take the last block, the last strip of fabric you put on, and make sure that that is away from you. So it's at the top of the strip. Now you'll notice too, my blocks aren't straight. That's perfectly okay. This is just a fast, fun method to get rid of a lot of these scraps that you've got. And because you don't have the 1/4 inch foot, don't worry about it. Line that up and sew on down. When you get close to the end, take your next one, take the same log away from you on the top of the strip, line that up, and as you can see, I'm not straight, so I'm just going to pull that over a little bit so that it's all going to get caught. Keep it fairly close to the one ahead of it, and sew it on down. And I'll just quickly put this last one on. This is going to be a little one. Okay. Same thing. No rotary cutters involved. Just trim that up with your scissors and cut them apart. Now, if you are the type that everything has to be very perfect, all your points have to match, you may have a little bit trouble with this fun block, because that is not what you're doing. Again, press it open, or you can simply finger press. Get my iron a little hotter here. Now I'll just show you one more strip. Okay, so line up your strip. You can see this one is really quite crooked, so I'm just going to turn it over. Take that one's a little straighter. Now again, we're going to take the last strip that we put on away from you, and at the top of the strip, line it up to the edge, and sew it down. away from me. And the last one. You can see how quickly this goes. You can whip up a wall hanging, or actually I just finished a double-sized bedspread, and it took me about 2 days worth of sewing. So a good long weekend. This is a great project for a group to get together. It's a fun block to do with a friend because you can trade off. You can see there's going to be a fair amount of pressing going on, and you can take turns sewing the strips. Get that a little bit neater there. Okay. And you would do the same thing. You would just continue around until you've made your block about 1.5 inches larger than the finished size block that you want, finished cut size of the block that you want. So again, I would take and lay all these out. And this is a good example. You can see how crooked that is. It doesn't matter. Line it up so that you're going to catch it at the narrowest point and just sew down. Okay? And that's how you construct the Wonky Log Cabin block. And in a minute here I'll show you how we cut it and trim it up so that it makes it wonky. Okay, here's my finished Wonky Log Cabin block. You can see that it's not straight. I've got a little bit different sizes in here and everything, and that's absolutely perfect. Now what you want to do to make it a Wonky Log Cabin is you take your cutting square and you put it on the log cabin, and all you're going to do is give it a bit of a twist. Doesn't have to be very much, and that's how difficult it is. And you see I've kind of kept the center around the 2 center blocks there. And now all you're going to do is press down firmly and cut it out. I don't have a roundabout one, so you can see already how this is starting to give it a bit of a twist. Okay, now you can see it's wonky. When you line that up in your quilt, it's going to have that twist. And each one is going to be. And what's nice with the layout, you can alternate them, and they'll be going like this. And that's the Wonky Log Cabin.